Yeah, yeah. I'm living my best life. Made a couple M's, you know. Said I'm living my best life. Said I'm living my best life.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Random Opinions, Reaction, and Reviews. If you don't know who I am by now, you gotta get with the program. I'm coming today to do a review on the episode that just aired today on General Hospital. Today is May 30th, so let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so we actually start off with the scene where we have Jordan and Curtis and Franco, Elizabeth, and Lulu. And Jordan is given Franco, I guess, an award for being a hero, for actually putting himself into the line of danger to catch Ryan. Remember a couple months back where he pretended that he was the person that killed all these victims to lure Ryan out? Well, he did that and he ended up getting stabbed and everything like that. So today Jordan gave him an award of appreciation for being a hero. You know, Elizabeth was proud of him, and I just kept thinking the whole time. Remember when James Franco played the character Franco? He was the one that originated the character. He came on so dark and so demented, and just one of the, to this day, one of the biggest villains that Sam and Jason have had to face together. And now fast forward, we have Roger Howard playing Franco now, and he's added an, like, I guess, a stability to Franco. He's more so of a homebody now, a dad, a husband, everything that we thought Franco would never be. He is clearly not the Franco he was back in 2009 when he first came on the show. So I mean, it's a bit weird, but okay, I get it. So Franco kisses Elizabeth goodbye, says he needs to take care of something. I knew from then that he was going on to Ryan. So then we get a visual of Ryan, and Ryan is in the hospital, and it looks like he's opened his eyes, you guys. He is not dead. He is yet again still alive. This guy has more than 9 lives. Like, he continues to always live no matter what they do to him. They can kill him. They can stab him. They can burn him. He's still going to resurrect like Jesus Christ. It's just weird. So Franco goes to talk to Ryan. And they're taunting each other. And Franco is telling him, you know, today was Kiki's birthday, and she would have still been alive had Ryan not killed her. And Ryan is just, he don't care. He even insults Kiki. I think his exact words was, Kiki was born insipid and dull, the opposite of her mother, Ava. So he brings Ava up, and Franco is just telling him, like, look, you are so predictable. Ava knew how to lure you, and you completely fell for her trap. Like, you've been outsmarted. You are so dumb, you know. And Ryan gets back at him and says, you know what? You envy me. You wish you can kill like I kill. You wish you could do the things that I have done, you know. And Franco is not budging. Like, do you guys think that Franco in a way envies Ryan, or do you think he's graduated from the Franco he used to be? Let me know in the comments below, because I kind of intrigued by what you guys have to say about that, because I don't think that he envies Ryan. I feel like there's a portion of him that is scared to turn back into the Franco that he used to be, but there is another portion of him that he keeps dormant. Like, we all know old Franco, he was intrigued by that, but they've made him such a homebody now from, like, you know, him, they said that he had a brain tumor and all of this, and this is what forsaked him to kill so many people, that he wasn't normal. And once they took the tumor out, he became normal and all of this. But do you guys think that Franco low-key misses killing people? I don't know. Anyway, so they're just taunting each other back and forth. And, you know, like I said, Franco calls Ryan predictable. And Ryan, I think that kind of got under his skin a little bit, because he's been outplayed and he's been outnumbered by so many people. Felicia, Kevin, Ava, like, they've all outsmarted him. So then we have scenes with Nina and Jax. Now, yesterday, you all know that Jax was in Nina's office when she arrived. So when she got there, they started talking, and she wants to know what Jax is doing in her office. And Jax tells her, I am here because of business endeavors. Like, I'm also here because of my daughter, because Nina asked him, like, why Port Charles? Out of all the places you could have gone, why Port Charles? And he makes it a fact that, he has some invested interests in Port Charles because of his daughter. And Nina, like, you guys, she is really smitten by Jax. Like, you can tell just by the way she looks at him, there's definitely going to be a fling that happens, and she definitely is in love with Valentine, but this is different this time around because she is feeling Jax, guys. She is feeling him. So Jax is telling her that he bought 50% of Aurora Media. I can't say Aurora. Like, it's weird. It comes off my tongue weird. Anyway, so he purchased 50% of Aurora Media, and now he's going to be, I guess, invested into the printing, and he's going to be looking into Crimson more often. And Nina has done a lot of good things with Crimson, and I think they say she bought in about like a 40% budget increase, but Jax wants to multiply that and make it 100% budget increase. Like, he wants to bring in more money. And so they start looking into the budget. Nina doesn't know anything about that. She didn't go to school for business. She just happened to get this job. And if it wasn't for Maxie, the magazine wouldn't be as successful as it is, because it took Maxie's brains to know, because she already had experience with Crimson, and it took Nina's money. So, I mean, they've been doing good, but I guess, like, Jax has a better plan to make sure that they bring home maximum money, And so he helps Nina look into the budget and how to, sit money around, and how to take some of that money that she's spending on, I guess, the photo shoots and stuff. They're going to cut that, and they're going to put that money elsewhere and focus on different business endeavors. And she is liking, talking to Jax, and she's liking the attention that he shows to his employees and the time that he's taken out. She also tells him, look, if you're going to be my boss, you need to know these things. I do not work on a Friday. I'm not going to sit up here and try to work around that. There's not going to be any compromise. It's just flat. I don't work on Fridays. I like flowers. Sometimes I spend money on things like that to help my creativity. So that's not going anywhere. Just telling him what it is, because she's already gotten into her ways. And Crimson is doing good by itself. It's just that Jax, his presence will help them soar into even better things, become more wealthy. So she's excited, and then Valentine shows up, and you can tell Valentine is not feeling Jax. He's nice because Nina is happy that Jax is there. She feels like they have some good things in store. Like, she feels really good about it. And Valentine's got that tricky look on his face, like, I'm happy because you're happy, but he's got a side eye on Jax, and he should. So Lucas and Alexis, they meet, and Lucas is telling Alexis that he fears losing Wiley because Wiley's birth father never gave parental consent to get rid of Wiley because he never knew Wiley existed. So Alexis is going about, her usual talking conversation with a client, and pretty much telling him, I guess, the basis of what to expect. And then she finds out that the birth father is Shiloh. And she's like, oh no, we're going to pull out all the stops to make sure that this child never gets into the hands of Shiloh and DOD. So she pretty much comforts Lucas and tells him, she's going to do everything in her power to make sure Wiley does not get involved, and that Wiley does not get involved with Shiloh, and that they are able to keep their son, And then Lucas leaves, and then Jax shows up. I like that these scenes with Jax and Alexis today, because they were just refreshing. I like to take GH back to its old days, just because the olden days, like the writers that they had back in the day used to write one heck of a story for GH. Like, they had some good writers. And if you're bringing in old characters and you're trying to get GH back to its roots, it's good that we're bringing in people like Jax, you know, old characters that really had an investment in Port Charles, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy Jax is back. I was glad to see those scenes today with Jax and Alexis. They're catching up on things. Alexis is happy that Jax is back, you know, and Jax is reassuring her that he's not going anywhere. He's staying here for some time, you know. And she also tells Jax to be worried, keep an eye on Valentine, because now that he's invested in Crimson, he's going to become invested in Nina. You know, he's going to be working right alongside Nina, and they're going to spend a lot of time together. So Valentine is a big threat, and she mentions, look at what happened to Nicholas. Like, he killed Nicholas and got away with it. And Jax says something like, let's not even get started on Nicholas and how I feel about him. You guys, I don't know the history between Jax and Nicholas. Like, can you guys comment below with what happened between Jax and Nicholas? I don't know where they had any beef. Like, please freshen my memory, because I might just forgot, you know. So let me know what the history is between Jax and Nicholas, because I do want to know. I know that Jax had some business endeavors with ELQ back in the day. He had like some stakes and some stocks in their company, and I know he had like issues with the Quartermaines, and he just was like an opponent to them. And you know, and even when he came back into town, he said it was either ELQ or Aurora Media. And because Michael is the CEO, which Michael is his stepson, so since Michael is the CEO of ELQ, he wasn't going to go for ELQ. So I thought that was good, that even though Carly and him are not married any longer, he still wants to see his stepchildren succeed in life, and he's not even bothering Michael. So that's good, because back in the day, Jax used to do whatever to get his hands on some stakes into ELQ, and Tracy Quartermaine, Edward, they hated it. Like, but you know, so he's gonna leave ELQ alone. He says that ELQ is doing good, and that's why he set his eyes on Aurora Media as well. Anyway, let me go back to where I was before. So Alexis is also, like I said, she's telling him to be aware of Valentine. And you know, Jax came to play, you guys. This is a game to Jax. Jax been playing with even worse people in the past. Like, Valentine is nothing to him, for real, nothing. Jax is a dinosaur to Valentine's little goat, you know. Jax will eat him up. So I know he came to play. He's gonna have fun taking that man's wife, because even though that might not be his intent, it's gonna happen. Anyway, so we go to Sam and Julian. Sam is going into her house. Like, she gets to her house and she feels somebody's presence, and it's Julian. Like, she turns around and Julian's there. And Julian is like, can you come in? I need to talk to you about your brother. So he's talking to her about Lucas and telling her, and speak of Lucas, because yesterday I just said I wish they had more scenes with Sam and Lucas, and even though they didn't share scenes today, they found a way to incorporate Sam into this whole Shiloh Wiley type situation, because Sam is a private eye. So Julian was going to her basically to get her help, and he wants Sam to erase all paper traces of Wiley so that Shiloh can never find, you know, him. And Sam is like, look, this might not be a job for me. This is more so a job for your associates. And Julian's telling her, look, I don't have any communications with my associates. I'm out of the game. I'm no longer involved in the mob. So I need your help. You're his aunt. You're Wiley's aunt, and you're Wiley's godmother. You have to go out of your way to make sure Wiley never sees the birth father again. So he didn't give her a large amount of details, because he told her the less details she had, she would be able to claim plausible deniability, because it's that bad. But Sam is like, in order for me to help you, I need to know all the details. He wasn't willing to give her the details, and so she was gonna say, you know what, I can help in little way. Like, she wasn't really too invested until Julian's getting ready to walk out. And he's like, Sam, we need to make sure that Wiley never gets into the hands of this cult leader. And when Sam heard that, she closed the door and she's like, cult leader? Are you talking about Shiloh? Shiloh is the father of Wiley? Now, remind you, Shiloh had found out he was the father during the nurse's ball, and this is when Sam was going through with the plan, and he was telling her all about his son that he never knew, and he's going to go out his way to find his son. So Sam put 2 and 2 together, like, okay, Shiloh is the father. So she's like, oh yeah, I'm going out my way to make sure my godson, my nephew, never sees that creep ever, you know. And so she's invested in making sure that Wiley never gets into the hands of Shiloh. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm definitely sure that since Sam is going to get involved in this storyline, that we can count on the fact that Sam will probably end up finding out that Wiley is actually Jonah. Somehow it's going to come out. And I think Sam is definitely going to have a part in the storyline with finding out Wiley's real identity, you know. So then we have Willow and Chase. Chase comes, brings flowers. You know, he's being a good boyfriend. He wants to get caught up on what happened at the nurse's ball. You know, and Willow is just scared that Wiley is going to get into the hands of Shiloh. So she's voicing her concerns to Chase. And Chase is letting her know that, look, no matter what happens, we're going to make sure Wiley never gets into that freak's hands. And then he tells her that, you know what? You don't have anything to worry about for another couple days because Shiloh is in the hospital. So she finds out that Shiloh's in the hospital and that somebody most likely put him there and beat him up real bad. And so she was like, man, I really wish they would have killed him, pretty much is what she says. But I think she said something along the lines of, I really wish they had finished the job or something like that. Then we have Lulu and Elizabeth. They show up after Chase leaves, and they've pretty much had all the parents sign a petition to have Willow keep her job. And Willow is saying, I don't think Principal Schultz will go for this, but this is definitely a good gesture, and she's very appreciative of what they've done. And they also come up with a scenario that if Principal Schultz doesn't accept the petition, that she can take the petition and use as references to her new job, you know. And so I don't know if they're going to plan on giving her job back, but I definitely like that set at GH is something different. I'm thinking whole time when Willow and Chase was there is that she has a lot of free time during school hours to just socialize with other outsiders. Like, she's all kissing Chase in the classroom and stuff. I'm like, that's not very professional, but okay. That was my side thought, but anyway, then we have, what else? Then we have Finn. He meets with Jordan and Curtis, and he's pretty much telling Curtis and Jordan that Ryan's kidneys are good. Like, they did the proper lab test on this guy. His kidneys are okay, and they just need his consent in order to be able to get one of his kidneys. And Curtis goes and meets with Ryan. And he's telling Ryan, look, I did you a favor. Now it's time for you to do me a favor. And Ryan's just sitting there like, look, I'm a very popular guy today. Like, everybody's coming to visit me. But he's taunting Curtis a little bit. And, you know, Curtis is, like, on edge. Like, that's his whole wife. He's scared for her. And he don't have time to play games, Ryan. Come on now. Like, Ryan do not have a heart whatsoever. This guy is just beyond me. We have Finn and Chase. Chase is like wanting to throw Finn, I guess, an engagement party. And Finn is like, look, I have bigger fish to fry. Jordan needs a kidney, and I'm going to have to do the surgery if Ryan consents. And the engagement party can pretty much hold off because you know that it wouldn't be an engagement party with Anna if Jordan wasn't there because they're like this, supposedly. Okay, and then on a side note, I hear that Chloe Lanier is coming back, you guys. I guess it's like a little temporary couple episodes. I haven't really read too much into it, but I'm excited Nell is coming back because Nell is one of those exciting characters. She's not really a villain, but she is, and she's always bringing heat and fire. And I don't know if they're gonna incorporate her on this Wiley Jonah storyline and how that's all going to play out, but I'm definitely excited. I'm glad that they're bringing back some of these old people, some of these old characters, even though Chloe's not, her character Nell's not really an old character, but she definitely brought a lot of interest to GH, you know. So I'm glad that they're bringing some of these interesting characters back, you know. And if they can bring Sabrina and Nicholas and Morgan back, I'd be even more satisfied. And let's not forget Oscar as well. Even though he just left, I would like to see, you know, at least the actor back, even if they're gonna give him a different character, you know. I mean, they bought Michael Easton's. They bought him like several different characters. He came on at first as John McBain, and then he was the Silas Clay, and then he played the vampire briefly on GH, and then now he's Finn. Like, come on now, that's 4 different characters this man has played, and y'all can't bring back some old characters that have died, like that fans actually want to see, like Sabrina. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Y'all got to get on the ball. Like, give us viewers what we want. Anyway, that concludes today's episode. It was pretty interesting. It wasn't too much. It was kind of exciting. What do you think? What do you guys think about today's episode? I think tomorrow's episode is going to be a little bit more interesting. Plus, I am a Jason fan, and he wasn't on today. So, you know, it was like kind of dry without Jason. I also want to know, how do you guys feel about Jax and Nina? Like, I'm excited. If there's any suggestions that you guys may have on like what you guys want me to do, what you guys want me to talk about, let me know. Comment below. Comments are very important. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
I finally made my mind, know that I can't go back broke. They saying that my time up, my back against the ropes. I hustle, got my grind, know that when I make the most. I had faith every night and I never lost no hope.